In the year 2225, Earth is on the brink of collapse. Climate change has devastated vast areas of the planet, and resource scarcity has become the norm. The great metropolises, dominated by corporations, are protected by energy fields and elite soldiers, while most of the population lives in tech slums or abandoned areas, where poverty and violence are the only constant companions. Earth, once the cradle of humanity, has become a dark and neglected planet. The great exodus to the space colonies was the solution of the powerful. While the elites live in prosperous and luxurious worlds, the colonies at the far reaches of the universe are governed by the artificial intelligence, Axiom, an AI that controls all aspects of life in the colonies, from food supply to the control of the population's behavior. Axiom, though seemingly benevolent, is merely a tool of the Conclave, a cosmic entity that monitors and maintains universal order. Among Earth's marginalized, a former elite soldier named Valkar Zephyr lives a solitary life. He was once part of an elite army, but after a failed mission he became an outlaw, evading the surveillance of corporations and AI agents. During an incursion into a secret research center, Valkar finds an artifact that will change his life, the Star Chalice. The Star Chalice is a cosmic weapon, an immense energy blade that, when wielded by Valkar, creates a connection with the universe, amplifying his senses and allowing him to see patterns invisible to others. He feels a cosmic force, an ancient energy transmitted to him through the weapon. For the first time, Valkar has a clear vision of what's at stake. Earth and the colonies are not just controlled by an AI, but by a much older and more powerful cosmic force. After discovering the Star Chalice, Valkar knows he cannot face the Conclave's power alone. He sets out to find allies, people who understand the power of the AI and cosmic weapons. His journey leads him to Selene Xyros, a former scientist who worked for the AI but became a fugitive after discovering Axiom's true intentions. She became a hacker and expert in system infiltration, known for her skills in breaking any digital security. Selene, initially suspicious of Valkar, quickly recognizes the power of the Star Chalice and the importance of the mission. She reveals to Valkar that cosmic weapons are not merely relics of the past, they are keys to challenging the order established by the Conclave. Axiom, despite its benevolent appearance, is merely a tool of the Conclave, controlling the flow of energy and information between the colonies, manipulating the masses and preventing any kind of revolt. Selene, like Valkar, believes that the only way to restore freedom to Earth and the colonies is to destroy the Conclave and the AI. However, the forces of the Conclave are not unaware. Zorath Vrax, an interplanetary warrior, arrives to join the cause. Vrax, from a distant planet forgotten by galactic records, is a master of combat and manipulation of cosmic winds. His weapon, the Celestial Storm, is a blade made from an unknown material that manipulates atmospheric energy and cosmic energy flows. Vrax joins Valkar and Selene, bringing not only his strength but also a unique perspective on the mystical weapons and their powers. The group is now complete, but their journey is just beginning. They must figure out how to access the Conclave's secrets and face an AI that controls a network of interplanetary systems. In their hands, the three wielders of the cosmic weapons hold the power to either destroy or save the universe. With Valkar, Selene, and Zorath now united, they begin planning their offensive against Axiom and the Conclave. However, as they delve into Axiom's secret archives, they uncover an alarming revelation. The Conclave is not just a network of cosmic rulers, but an intelligent and interdimensional force, older than any known civilization. Its mission is to maintain universal balance, and to do so, it controls everything that exists, including planets, stars, and colonies. The mystical weapons the three heroes possess are not mere combat tools. They are parts of a complex cosmic energy system that maintains the balance of the universe. Each weapon is connected to a specific cosmic element. Valkar's Star Chalice is connected to the power of light, Zorath's Celestial Storm to cosmic winds and storms, and Selene, though still without a physical weapon, has a unique ability to manipulate Axiom's information networks and digital energies, allowing her to hack any system with ease. However, the true nature of the mystical weapons is more connected to the Conclave than they realized. By uncovering the secrets of the weapons, Valkar and his allies realize that to defeat the Conclave, they will need to go beyond their weapons. They will need to access the Conclave's very cores, located in an interdimensional plane. The mission is now clear: destroy the Conclave's core and free the colonies from its control. The group's journey takes them to an ancient planet known only as Asur, where the first signs of resistance against the Conclave were found. The ruins of a civilization that lived millennia ago reveal secrets about the origin of the cosmic weapons. At the bottom of a cosmic pyramid, they discover a temple that contains ancient records about the creation of the Conclave and how it maintains control over the universe. Selene deciphers the texts and reveals that the mystical weapons were created as part of an experiment to control cosmic forces and prevent any being from becoming powerful enough to challenge the Conclave. The weapons were scattered across different planets, waiting for the chosen ones who could use them to restore balance. However, as Valkar and his allies explore the ruins of Asur, Axiom's AI activates a self-defense sequence. An army of drones and war machines appears to neutralize the heroes, but Zorath uses his celestial storm to deflect the attacks. The battle is fierce, but in the end they manage to escape with the information needed to advance to the next phase of their mission. Valkar, Selene, and Zorath had reached the climax of their journey. The Conclave's forces were weakening, but still, the core of its power seemed unbeatable. What they didn't know, and what even the cosmic weapons couldn't predict, was that the universe had something more in store for them. Valkar, as he led the charge of the mission, began to feel an unusual connection to the cosmic energies around him. It was in a moment of intense concentration during the attack on the core that Valkar experienced a deep vision, an opening in the cosmos that took him beyond human understanding. He saw space-time fold, heard the whispers of the stars, and felt the weight of all existence connected in a single line of energy. He was more than just a warrior now, he was an extension of the universe itself, the cosmic force manifesting in the form of a human. You cannot just destroy the Conclave, a voice resonated in Valkar's mind. You need to understand the role the Conclave plays in the creation and destruction of the universe. By destroying it, you will not only disrupt the balance of the galaxies, but you will also interfere with the flow of existence itself. These words echoed in his mind, making him question everything he knew about the mission. He looked at his hands, feeling the blade of the Star Chalice pulsing with an almost living energy, as if the weapon itself were guiding him. He felt that his decision was no longer just about saving or destroying, it was about understanding what was happening at the deepest level of cosmic forces. The dilemma was set: destroying the Conclave would free Earth and the colonies, but it would also destroy the balance that kept them alive. It was a hard choice, for Valkar knew the cost could be greater than he ever imagined. And in that moment he realized that perhaps his true mission was not just to defeat the Conclave, but to understand the cosmic forces that govern life and death in the universe. Something far more complex and greater than he could comprehend alone. As he realized this, a sense of despair overtook Valkar. How could he save the galaxy if the very essence of life was at stake? The question that echoed in his mind was simple but overwhelming: what happens when freedom comes with such a high price? At this point, Valkar and his allies' fate was sealed. The battle was no longer just physical. It was a fight against cosmic forces on a scale that defied reality itself. For the heroes, the answer was closer than they imagined, but it would require a total acceptance of the unknown and sacrifice. After Valkar's revelation, the group gathers to discuss the consequences of their actions. Their mission, which initially seemed to be about freeing Earth and the colonies from the tyranny of the Conclave, now took on a new shape. The cosmic weapons, the Star Chalice, the celestial storm, and Selene's unique ability to hack cosmic energies, had become just parts of a larger whole, a universal balance game where the stakes went beyond simple destructive power. If we are to destroy them, we must be prepared for the consequences, Selene said, her eyes fixed on the horizon. The Conclave maintains the balance. And even if their intentions are cruel, it is a force that cannot simply be removed. Zorath, who had been silent up until that moment, raised his celestial storm, feeling the energy coursing through him. Our powers are not merely for destruction. They connect us to something greater. If we destroy the Conclave, we must be sure we can maintain the balance, or our universe will suffer a chain reaction. Valkar knew the decision was in his hands. He had discovered that the Conclave, at its core, was an ancient cosmic entity, acting as the guardian of the universal flow. Without the Conclave, the universe could fall into chaos, its stars would extinguish and its galaxies would disintegrate. The destruction of the Conclave would mean that something much greater would take its place, and no one knew what that would be. However, Valkar also felt the weight of his choices. The Conclave had already caused deaths, and its control over the colonies had led to immense suffering. What was worse? A universe ruled by a force that controlled everything and everyone, or a universe where people could finally have freedom, even if it meant destroying what kept them alive? The final battle took place within the heart of the Conclave, a vast interdimensional complex where the fabric of reality seemed to tear at every corner. The heroes fought with all their might, but each blow against the AI was like attacking a specter. The Conclave was not just a physical being, it was an essence that permeated the entire galaxy, a force that existed beyond matter. It was at this point that Valkar, with the help of Selene and Zorath, realized that the only way to destroy the Conclave was not to attack it directly but to undo the bonds it had with the universe. Using the cosmic weapons in unison, they created an energy vortex capable of disintegrating the foundation of the Conclave, causing its influence to begin to fade, dissipating like a distant echo. But the price was high. To destroy the entity that had ruled the galaxy for so long, Valkar had to sacrifice the life energy of the Star Chalice, an act that consumed his very existence. He did not die but became something beyond flesh, a cosmic entity now flowing with the energy of the universe itself. He had become an extension of the cosmos, a new force, but at the cost of his humanity. After the destruction of the Conclave, the universe was in a state of transition. The galaxies, which had lived under the domination of an unstoppable cosmic force, now breathed the air of freedom. But this freedom was not something easily achieved. Valkar's act had left a void, not only in the universe but also in the hearts of those closest to him. By sacrificing his own humanity to prevent the tyranny of the Conclave, Valkar had become something different. His essence now permeated the cosmos, flowing through the stars and cosmic currents. He was no longer physically present, but his energy still influenced events around him. Earth and the colonies were free from oppression, but the impact of the Conclave's death left a profound echo. Selene and Zorath, now the new leaders of this galaxy without the weight of the Conclave, were overwhelmed by the responsibility that had fallen upon them. The fight for freedom was not over. The Conclave was not just an oppressive regime, it was a force that, in some way, maintained the balance of the galaxy. Now that it had disappeared, the universe was in a state of fragility. Selene, with her unique ability to manipulate cosmic energies, took on the role of guardian of the new balance. She knew that the power the Conclave wielded could not simply be ignored, for it maintained harmony between the galaxies. With Valkar absent physically, she and Zorath would need to balance the forces at play, ensuring that cosmic powers did not collide catastrophically. With Valkar absent physically, she and Zorath would need to balance the forces at play, ensuring that cosmic powers did not collide catastrophically. Zorath, with his celestial storm, felt the weight of his new position. He had once been just a soldier, a warrior with a mission, but now he had to protect the entire galaxy. His mystical weapon still pulsed with cosmic energy, like an extension of the universe itself. He knew his strength would be tested in ways he had never imagined. However, the consequences of the Conclave's absence began to manifest in dark ways. New threats began to emerge, threatening the balance Valkar had helped preserve. Even though the Conclave had been a tyrannical organization, its presence had served as a sort of balance keeper. Without it, the universe was about to plunge into a new cycle of chaos and destruction. Selene, bearing the weight of Valkar's decision on her shoulders, sought ways to fill the void he left. She knew she could not simply replace Valkar's sacrifice, but she had to ensure his efforts were not in vain. In a meeting with Zorath, she said, "The battle is not over, Zorath. The Conclave may have fallen, but what it represented is still alive. We must be ready for what is to come." Zorath, looking at the distant horizon, responded firmly, "We are the guardians now. If the Conclave kept the balance, now it is up to us to safeguard it. We will rebuild what was destroyed and ensure that freedom is more than just a word." But the seeds of new problems were being sown. The universe was reorganizing, but the cosmic forces that had been kept in balance had now been freed. Freedom, however much it was desired, brought with it a series of new challenges. With the destruction of the Conclave, new powers began to emerge in the power vacuum left by the fall of the organization. Although Earth and the colonies were initially free from the oppression of the Conclave, the universe did not take long to reorganize, and not everyone had the same intentions for peace. Some of these factions were led by individuals who now possessed the same cosmic power that Valkar, Zorath, and Selene had channeled into their mystical weapons. What began as an attempt at unification and freedom quickly turned into a galactic Cold War. The cosmic weapons were still in circulation, and their power, now without the Conclave's oversight, could be used to both create and destroy. Selene knew the universe needed order, but now freedom was at stake. There could not be centralized leadership like the Conclave, but neither could there be a power vacuum, or else the galaxy would fall into an era of anarchy. For this reason, she called for an intergalactic council, bringing together representatives from the various colonies and planets that had been freed. The goal was to create a new alliance, a network of trust and cooperation that would prevent the factions from destroying one another. Zorath, on the other hand, felt that the cosmic balance was being threatened by political instability. The stars, which had once had a steady glow, now seemed to flicker, as if the cosmos was eager to reorganize. He knew he had to protect the galaxy's borders, but also understood that galactic chaos could be more dangerous than any external invasion. The real question that Selene and Zorath had to face was, how could they create a governance system that would not fall into the same mistakes as the Conclave, but still be capable of maintaining peace among the different factions? The two leaders began working together to define a new path. Selene saw possibilities within cosmic energy, trying to find solutions to unite the factions peacefully. Zorath knew that military force would also be needed to ensure that external threats did not take advantage of the moment's fragility. In the midst of the universe's reconstruction after the Conclave, a new enemy emerged from the shadows. An unknown faction, calling themselves the Children of the Black Star, began attacking the recently liberated colonies and planets. Their leaders were former disciples of the Conclave who had escaped destruction, but now they were more power-hungry than ever. The Children of the Black Star possessed weapons similar to the cosmic weapons used by Valkar and his allies. They were forged with cosmic energies but for a different purpose. Instead of preserving balance, these weapons sought to corrupt the cosmic forces for personal gain. Their leaders saw the cosmos not as something to be respected, but as a resource to be exploited and dominated. The threat the children posed was even more frightening because they had access to the same technologies the Conclave used to maintain order. But now, instead of working to preserve universal balance, they were attempting to reverse everything Valkar and his allies had fought to protect. Selene and Zorath once again found themselves on the front lines of defense. The battle against the Children of the Black Star would be more difficult than any other they had faced, because now the enemy possessed the same powerful weapons and cosmic energy that they did. However, the war was not just physical. It was a battle for the soul of the universe. If the Children of the Black Star won, the galaxy would fall back into a regime even darker than the Conclave, with freedom only a distant memory. Now, with the return of the shadows and a new battle forming on the horizon, Selene and Zorath faced the most challenging mission of their lives. They must not only fight the Children of the Black Star, but also prevent the universe from drifting away from its true essence, threatened by those who seek to dominate the cosmic forces. But this will not just be a fight for survival, it will be a fight for the very identity of the cosmos itself. The war that is about to begin will be much more than a simple battle between factions. What is at stake is the essence of what it means to be free in a universe where the cosmic order and the very energy of the stars have been corrupted. Selene, with her unique ability to manipulate cosmic energies, has a clear vision. She knows that without the energy of the cosmos flowing freely, the galaxy will not be able to thrive. Her mission goes beyond saving the colonies. She needs to restore balance, ensuring that the cosmic forces are protected and not exploited for selfish purposes. But she also knows that this task will not be easy, and time is against them. Zorath, with his celestial storm, feels that every day that passes is a lost opportunity. The Children of the Black Star are not just a physical threat, but a philosophical one. They believe the galaxy should be dominated, not protected. They do not see the cosmic forces as something to be respected, but as a tool to achieve absolute power. Zorath knows that if they are not stopped in time, the universe will be plunged back into a cycle of oppression and destruction, far worse than anything the Conclave could have caused. Therefore, the fight is not just for territories or galaxies, but for the soul of the universe. Valkar's sacrifice and the battle Selene and Zorath fought alongside him must not be in vain. The cosmos needs to remain free, without the threat of being manipulated by those who see it as a mere resource. They must fight to ensure that balance is maintained, and that the cosmic forces return to being a source of harmony, not domination. So, what will happen next? Will Selene and Zorath be able to unite the forces of the galaxy to face the Children of the Black Star and restore balance? Or will the fight be lost, and the universe be swallowed by the darkness of the shadows? Don't miss the continuation of this epic journey. If you're as excited as we are to find out what happens next, subscribe to the channel and like the video. The battle for cosmic freedom is just beginning, and you won't want to miss any chapter of this story.